Hey community, I started a Patreon recently and I'm calling it my community art garden. Why, you ask? Because most of my art is centered around plants, nature, garden, returning your soul to nature, but also like merging it with the 3D material world. So I really wanted to merge like nature and the digital. So I'm calling it my community art garden. And it's really a place where you can return back to yourself. I really feel like that's what this time is calling for. And I just wanted to cultivate a space where people could, a safe space where people can, authentically connect without like, worry of like hate or like what this person thinking or that. I just wanted a clean space of pure artistic intelligence and brilliance, and that just uplifts you and makes you feel better. So what does my Patreon include exactly? So my Patreon has 3 tiers. Top tier, my offerings include NFTs, early NFT drop information. I have art talks. They're just conscious flows, really explaining like my art and the depth behind it, because my art is not just like art. It's not just art that I just create just to create it. Like, it has a deep story and it's attached to my life, it's attached to my journey, and it's attached to my flow. Then we have poetry. I've never shared my poetry before, so this is a little like and then we have my photography. I've been doing photography for probably as long as I've been doing art. When I was about 8, maybe, my mom had me do my first photography class at the Oakland Museum, and I remember I had like an old school like camera, but that's when I first learned about lighting, about like landscape layouts. And so I think like because I was kind of brought into photography via landscape, that's kind of where my passion lies. And then I also took a photography class in college, and the main focus really was also like landscape composure. So I'm really passionate about landscape photography, but also travel photography. So my Patreon has a section for photography in general, because I take nature photography, landscape photography, but then it also has a whole travel section because travel is a huge part of my life. I've traveled to more places in Europe than I can count, and then I've been to Africa as well, Canada, taken a lot of cruise thanks to my best friend Ariel. So I just have a lot of travel content and a lot of travel inspiration, and I think that like travel is a huge part of my evolution, my growth, and hopefully it will inspire you guys to take some unconventional travel in your lives and your journeys. What's next? So, art lessons. Top tier includes my drawing course, which is basically how to draw a face. I have a beginner level to this course, but I also have a more advanced level to this course. Shout out to Kirsten for helping me do the intro of this course that you will see if you sign up top tier. My amazing photographer friend, videographer friend, helped me shoot this beautiful opening from my vacation home in Sea Ranch, California, and that will also be included within the Patreon. A lot of photos that I don't share anywhere else, from my vacation home, time there, and it's just very much a healing place, Sea Ranch. It is the indigenous land of the Pomo Indians, Pomo Native Americans, and it's just, they're known for healing. They're healers, and it is the most healing land, and my grandpa initially built that house there, and he was a Gemini like me, and he taught me everything that I know, basically. So I'm here as an extension of him to the collective and to serve all of you beautiful souls out there who need support on your journeys. Okay, so next is, well, that was a perfect leading into my next offering, which is my Mindfulness Teachings. And you can actually see them right here. But these are all of my mindfulness teachings, and I have like about 25, I think, journals of different mindfulness teachings that I've learned over the years. I've done a lot of study. After I graduated from Loyola Marymount, got my BFA, then I really dove into spirituality. I studied at Agape International Spiritual Center. I also studied at East Bay Meditation Center in the Bay Area. Agape is also, it's in LA. I used to go in person when it was in Culver City, but you can also access it online. All this information that I'm saying right now, it's all on brettsims.com. If you're interested, if you want to head there and check out resources, everything about those organizations is on there. But my goal is just really to provide y'all some resources, like, so that you can navigate through these changing ages and this changing time. What's next? So, art lessons. Top tier includes my drawing course, which is basically how to draw a face. I have a beginner level to this course, but I also have a more advanced level to this course. The perfect leading into my next offering, which is my Mindfulness Teachings. And you can actually see them right here. But these are all of my mindfulness teachings, and I have like about 25, I think, journals of different mindfulness teachings that I've learned over the years. I've done a lot of study. After I graduated from Loyola Marymount, got my BFA, then I really dove into spirituality. I studied at Agape International Spiritual Center. I also studied at East Bay Meditation Center in the Bay Area. Agape is also, it's in LA. I used to go in person when it was in Culver City, but you can also access it online. All this information that I'm saying right now, it's all on brettsims.com. If you're interested, if you want to head there and check out resources, everything about those organizations is on there. But my goal is just really to provide y'all some resources, like, so that you can navigate through these changing ages and this changing time. My journal teachings, I really like. These are just my real life journals that I've written over the years. This book right here is pretty much the book that I started once I began my self-love journey. And so I want to, the very first page of this whole project, which I always envisioned myself doing, but I didn't exactly know how it would lay out because I couldn't particularly foresee how technology would evolve. But I always knew that like this was a very important project, so I did it very intentionally, and this is how I began. And this was on March 5th, 2008, which is crazy because today's March 6th, 2022. Anyway, it says, I've decided to write in an effort to clear my head. At 20, I have come to realize I have a personality that is prone to panic and anxiety. I want to straighten things out because I feel like fear really limits the way in which I live my life. For some reason, I lack a great deal of confidence, and I feel like I don't deserve the good things that God throws to me at times. It is really frustrating because there's no specific reason why I should not love myself completely. But after everything I've been through, I still don't. I feel like if I don't begin to write down now, my emotions will build up and my feelings will build up and eat me alive. Maybe I should begin with figuring out what I want, what my goals are. I know who I am. I just need to figure out where I want to be. I want to completely own who I am and love who I am so much that no one can ever bring me down or break me, no matter how much they try or how mean to me they are. Boom! And that is my very first page I wrote in this journal series that I share on my Patreon. So what I do is I basically like capture images, you know, like I captured an image of this journal, you know, what the first page looked like, and then I write a lesson based on like the mindfulness teachings within these journals. So like I pulled out the mindfulness things, like, you know, from like unity to resistance to awakening to self-love, just different topics that when you read them, they like reignite your life force. They reignite your consciousness. They snap you back into things. And that is what we all need now. We all need to remember that we are powerful lights and we are powerful beings. And no matter what systems say or no matter what external circumstances are showing, we are strong. But it takes a while and it takes a lot of practice to relearn these things within your own mind, because society, capitalistic society, has really, you know, programmed us to believe that we are less than we are. And so this course is meant to reignite you and to, like, you know, get that life flow back into you, return you. I have so many like nature photos because I go on walks all the time. I go on mindfulness walks, I do meditative walks in nature, you know, I have a vacation home in nature, and just like all of my content exists to help pull people back into themselves and into what really matters, into what is really important, and to bring the humanity back, because during these times I feel like a lot of humanity is lacking in people. There's cruelty, there is greed, there is just like not caring at all what, you know, the next person thinks, or like how they might feel about what your actions are doing. And you know, these things matter. What we say, do, think matters. You know, our mind, body, souls need to be aligned and connected and fluid. And when they're fluid, you know, like the money flow, the love flow, everything that you want can flow through it. But if you're not aligned and connected, and if you're not ready to step into your own power quite yet, you know, a lot of times you need support along that journey. And you can, you know, go to anyone for support in your journey, no matter like what it is. But it's really like what your journey is calling for you, and like what you require. Like, you know, because everyone's been through different external circumstances, different like experiences, different, you know, family dynamics at home, which really shape us, you know, and really like play into our personalities and who we are right here, right now. If we don't really deeply tap into that and really like come out and express who we are, then, you know, I mean, I guess that's fine if that's your choice. But in this lifetime, my choice is not mediocrity. I want to rise above, and I want to help other people do the same. So that's what I'm doing with my Patreon. And if you're on board to cultivate the garden within, then please join me. I make myself laugh a lot too, so I have a lot of joy, you know, and there will be a lot of joy within my Patreon communities and within each tier of my Patreon community. So please just, you know, choose what fits you, choose what your flow is, and thank you so much to all of you beautiful souls who have already joined and are flowing with me. And I love you and I appreciate you, and I'm so thankful for you, and I'm just so thankful for this life. This is a beautiful life, and it gets even more beautiful when you embrace the creative flow of things. So that's what I'm just like putting out for y'all to do, but you don't have to do it, you know, like you don't have to listen to me or anything. But I'm just here to let you know that it is an offering. And with that said, I wish you guys so much love, so much light, and so much prosperity.